Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining. I'll just take a step back and talk about what DRIIV is, and most of you are collaborators with DRIIV or future collaborators with DRIIV. So just to set the scene with the audience, DRIIV is a science and technology cluster of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. And the idea of the cluster is to create an ecosystem of industry, academia, and government bodies so that innovations can be taken from lab to market via mutual collaborations. So without much further ado, I'll open the session with a question to you, Dr. Nupur. Dr. Nupur has been a collaborator with DRIIV for a long time, so we've known each other quite well. So I would like you to talk about your new Center of Excellence that has come up with TERI. What are the areas you're focusing on, and what are the challenges you're faced with?
Thank you, Shipra, ma'am. And thanks the organizer for having me here. And it's a great forum and sharing the platform with esteemed panelists. So regarding the center, it's a NMCG-TERI Center of Excellence on Water Reuse, jointly established by National Mission for Clean Ganga, Ministry of Jal Shakti, and TERI. And the whole idea about the Center of Excellence is it's primarily a technology forum. So any stakeholder, or I would say all stakeholders, which could be government, embassies, private sector enterprises, funders, philanthropic organizations, researchers, universities, and organizations like yours, they are welcome to join the center, and anything and everything related to wastewater treatment, water reuse, it could be a technology, process, product, anything in the value chain, including the circular economy. So when we talk of wastewater, so sludge management, solid residue, reject management, so all these are the allied areas. And together we look forward to having this platform where all can contribute together. So for example, complementary technologies may be given a chance for pilot, and successfully piloted technologies will be commercialized from the center. So this is the whole idea. And as a center of excellence, it is expected to come up with discussion papers, white papers on specific subjects like micropollutants, microplastic pollution abatement. We can look for various rivers, for example, froth problem, ammonia problem in Yamuna. These are our targeted areas. Then we are also looking at primarily on the Gangetic belt, Ganga River Basin. But also we are very soon signing an MOU with the NRCD, where other than Ganga, other river conservation directorate we are discussing. So these are our areas, and we welcome all partners on board. And regarding the opportunity, it's great. And the challenges is, since it's a new initiative, first of its kind, this Center of Excellence is first of its kind in the country, established by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. So picking up the center right from an idea from scratch is taking up time. But I'm sure with time, when all members and partners, we join hands, it will take up fast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nupur. And I would also like you to give a flavor of what all decentralized solutions you can offer to the audience.
Yeah. Very quickly, looking at the time. So we, as a TERI, and all these years, we have been working on wastewater treatment. So we have a technology which I am the inventor, and we have a interdisciplinary team. So it's a TERI advanced oxidation technology, and the whole idea about it is it's an integrated and retrofittable solution. And the problem which current treatment technologies, where we find the problem of removing the color, the organics. So this is something we have to see. And secondly, we have to look at the nature of different constitution, different wastewater streams, and we have to treat according to that. So this kind of educating the industry we are doing, and providing such technology interventions. And the best innovation with this technology is that it could be retrofitted as per the need at pre-biological or post-biological requirements in case of municipal sewage, in case of sewage treatment in construction and housing sector, or if we are talking of micro STPs today, and we are in a smart city Expo. So here, we really have to see decentralized treatment options. So technologies like TEDx is a viable option because they do not require any biological treatment before or after. Direct TEDx treatment within few hours, 4 to 5 hours, without any stream segregation, just like in other technologies, greywater or black water. No stream segregation is required. Mixed sewage or effluents can be directly treated using advanced oxidation, and the water which we are getting is meeting NGT norms and all water reuse norms, class A as per CPCB. So these are the interventions we should look in a smart city where this kind of water can be provided for various non-potable reuses, so that we can conserve the fresh water and potable water for drinking, and we can provide such treated water for various use.
Thank you so much, Nupur. And while we are on the subject of water, maybe Amit, can you talk about your solution? What is it you are doing and offering smart cities?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the question and the opportunity to speak on the subject of water. Now, as ma'am rightly said, that the whole crux of it is how to conserve and how to reuse the resources that we already have. So what JanaJal is actually doing is it's realized that there's a lot of opportunity with water treatment plants out there, and there's a lot of opportunity where the water is not reaching the beneficiary. The beneficiary being the urban slums, the underserved population who are at the mercy of a lot of factors. So what we are really doing is we are filling up the IoT technology vehicle called JanaJal Wow with treated water and taking it further and dispensing it to in the urban slums. So what it really is doing is it's helping us use the water treatment plants in the market. It is helping them generate revenue. It is helping us take the water to the people who need it the most. And it's basically helping us create a circular economy that we really are talking of here. So that's how we are really taking it.
Thank you so much. And talking about circular economy, Prashant, Blue Planet is one of the leaders in the space of waste management. Can you talk about some of the waste to wealth technologies you've brought to the market and can be taken forward?
Thank you, Shipra ma'am. Pleasure to be here. See, I think the whole ecosystem for sustainability aspect of waste management can be categorized into two parts. One is the financial sustainability and the environmental sustainability. Over the last, I would say, 25 years, there were three phases for the sustainability aspect. One was pre-SBM SBM guidelines in 2016, where it was more focused on building the sustainability aspect, and the entire responsibility was with the concessionaires, right? So you go figure it out how to make it sustainable, and that was a very difficult times for the right solutions to be built. Now come to SBM 2016 guidelines, and now I think we have made some good progress as far as the sustainability is concerned. There is good rigor where all stakeholders, be it central government, state governments, municipalities, concessionaires like us, all are coming together as far as exploring the right viable solution which can be scaled up. So we have seen a lot of traction from government grants coming along, people taking a lot more sense of ownership to make sure, because we have learned from our own mistakes that just putting the entire burden on concessionaire, it will not make it viable, and more projects have been failing than being successful. From now to the next 5-10 years, what I believe would be a very important change which will happen is including the consumers and polluters to become a part of the solution, right? So be it source segregation we are talking about, be it polluters to pay model coming along. So all these, and once we as consumers become a part of the solution, we will expect a lot better quality of outcomes coming along. So that is where I'm very, very bullish that as the awareness, we talk about future generations, youths, they are much more demanding than we have been. So we buy a carrot or a stick, we have to make sure those models become financially and environmentally sustainable.
Excellent. That leads us beautifully, the question of responsibility leads us beautifully into my question to you, Ashish, in terms of extended producer responsibility. How do you see that fitting in, and what are the challenges in implementing EPR?
Hello. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on this platform. Working in this domain is very challenging, and I started my journey long back in 2001. And when we received the first rule, Municipal Solid Waste Management Handling Rule, and that time people were not even aware about the segregation and the recycling technologies. And that time, many of the waste community was not recycled; it's just dumped. So in the journey of 23 years, we have developed a lot of supply chain of various waste commodity, and recently we have developed a supply chain of MLP, multi-layer plastic waste, which was very hard to recycle before 2008. Because of the new policies like EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, and I do agree with Prashant's statement that sustainability have two parts, financial sustainability and environmental sustainability, and where financial sustainability play a very big role. So without financial sustainability, you cannot achieve any environment sustainable model. So we are working with the community, and I'm a strong believer of decentralized solid waste management models. And for this, you need full participations of the consumers. So we are working with the both the stakeholders, consumer as well as producers. With producers, we are executing their EPR liability. We are developing collection back mechanism of different waste, especially plastic. And with consumer, we are trying to bring behavioral change, try to transfer the ownerships to protect their environment. And we have implemented more than 500 decentralized waste management system within the residential colony, where we are educating people to segregate. We are not just educating them, we are also providing them solutions, because it was a very common excuse from the consumer side that we know how to segregate and we are segregating, but the next day sweeper come and take all segregated waste in a mixed bag. So we try to provide solutions of their excuses. We are installing aerobin. We brought one technology, aerobin composters, which do not require any electricity and chemical to convert your organic waste into compost, and it doesn't require much space also. It's only 2 by 2 feet kind of box, which can be placed anywhere in your colony, and you just need to drop your organic waste. So there is no operational cost into it, and that's why people are liking it, and they are creating huge demand for such kind of model. So through this kind of model, they are segregating, because when people see their efforts are being utilized in a right manner, then people participation, we can expect more people to participate, and that's how we are having more number of people adding to our networks. They are into source segregations, they are doing composting of their organic waste, and then we are collecting their segregated dry waste, plastic waste and other waste, bringing to our MRF facilities, segregating into different another component, and then we are also channelizing those segregated dry waste to a recycling facility. So we have established a recycling facility for the toughest plastic packaging, MLP, and we are making very good products out of it. Then we are displaying those products into public areas so that we can demonstrate the recyclability of different plastics. So we are trying to educate people through some actions. So that's very important, and it's not very easy job. It's very challenging to bring behavioral change, to change the mindset of people, because most of the time in urban cities we are dealing with the educated people, and it's again a very challenging job to educate the educated people, because it's very easy to. I'm also working with the waste worker, so हम waste worker को कुछ कहते हैं तो they immediately adopt those learnings, but when we are meeting to educated people, they have their own mindsets.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Do engage with us after this, and we'll see what we can do. Now, if we have time for another round, I would like to ask each one of you, starting with Nupur, what is the one ask that you would say you have from an organization like DRIIV, which operates at the PSA level, that would make your life a lot easier?
Pardon?
One ask that an organization like DRIIV can fulfill for you that will make your life a lot easier.
So one thing which DRIIV can and the PSA office can do is bridge the last mile gap where the technology and solution providers like us can be financially supported with the available schemes with the government to the other side which require. So if you can connect make that last mile connectivity with the financial support, this is something I expect.
Thank you. Now, other people are not allowed to talk about financial support because this point has been raised. Barring that, coming to you, Prashant, because we've been working, what is the one thing that you would like to see DRIIV support you on?
See, as I was mentioning in my last answer, what has happened is we have made some significant progress as far as policy level interventions are concerned, right? Making the SBM guidelines, then amending them, plastic waste management rules, e-waste rules, and so on and so forth, landfill mining rules. But where we can look for asking for support from you guys is timely intervention in terms of implementation of those policies and enforcement. I think that is where all these policies being on paper doesn't help anyone, right? I think that is where, and the impact, and there's a tremendous amount of hard work which goes in forming those policies. But unless and until it sees light of the day at the ground level, be it partnering with state governments, partners like concessionaires like us, and stuff like that, I think enforcement and proper tracking and reporting of the implementation of those policies extremely critical for the success of this sector.
Thank you. Amit, your thoughts?
Sure. Thank you so much for bringing this question up. And I believe strongly that each one of us sitting here has beautiful solutions and answers to the problems that we are talking of. Where I think a good intervention is possible is, I think, networking. That's the first thing that is crucial, because each one of us has resources, has information, has the awareness around the solution. But unless we come together, unless we collaborate and bring the solution together, because a lot of us may have solutions which may be fit for a certain community, which may be fit for a certain mass. But again, scope of collaboration is something which will make it even more impactful, which may help us collaborate, which may help us look into other domains, which may help us diverge. So I think that's something which would bring a lot of power out of what we are bringing to the table.
Thank you. Ashish?
Yeah, I would say seriousness toward this subject is very important. So there are a lot of policies, there are a lot of guidelines, but I again do agree with Prashant. The implementation, enforcement is lacking, and maybe that is because we are not very much serious about this subject. We are just talking. So this subject becomes a talking terms for everybody's lives. So we need to take some serious actions because environments belongs to each one of us, and so I need that kind of approach. I will not let anybody else to destroy my environment. So I need ownerships from each one of us to conserve this environment.
Thank you so much. And I think a related thing is, you touched upon a very important point, how to bring seriousness, and we all know that nothing drives seriousness as much as money does, right? So coming to the question of financial stability you raised earlier, how do we make sure that all our sustainability efforts are also financially sustainable? So what is it we need to target? Maybe Prashant, if we can start from you, because you've actually made it happen, and then we can take suggestions from others.
No, so I think one transition that we would foresee is consumers getting much more engaged, right? As far as, I'll give some examples here. Maybe let's take sustainable fashion, right? For example, I mean, all of us here, if we are able to demonstrate that this is a sustainable product that we are wearing or we are using, I think most of us would be willing to pay, let's say, 5% more to contribute towards a sustainable ecosystem around it. Of course, I mean, we being a developing economy, if that percentage goes to, let's say, 15-20%, of course, people might shy away. But I think doing little bit as a part of a contribution, people will not shy away from. And trust me, I think globally, we are at that inflection point where the world is looking at India making significant contributions towards the sustainable journey and over the next decade. Right, so be it new technological interventions coming along, innovations coming along, or the scale, like middle class. We will in the next 20 years will grow from 400 million to 800 million. Right, so if we can even take a small shift in their mindset, the impact is phenomenal. Right, so that scale we will not be able to see anywhere across the world. So we will see a lot more participation coming along. Consumers will get more aware and engaged. And so will be the governments, right? So a lot of checks and balances will come into foray in terms of subsidies, in terms of grants, what are coming along, in terms of the outcome-driven mechanism for financial sustainability. It was more input-driven earlier. It would be more outcome-driven moving forward. So where we can demonstrate the right solutions and the impact that they are creating on the ground rather than just doing it on paper.
Thank you. Amit, coming to you on your water on wheels model, how do you see a commercially successful model evolving?
The solution that we are talking of, water on wheels, JanaJal water on wheels, it's something which is based out of the fact that water in itself is something which a lot of people do not have access to. On the other hand, a lot of people have access to water, but that is not drinkable water. So where I think the government bodies, where I think the international donors, where I think they saw the value is because whatever we are delivering is something which is crucial and it is a necessity. It is not a luxury that we are delivering. So, and if we can give it at an affordable price of 1 rupee a litre, which is nothing as compared to 20 rupees a litre of package versus the packaged drinking water, that is something which, even today when we take the vehicles to an urban slum, we don't have people coming to say that we don't want water which you're giving because we are getting water for free. It is because they have seen that there is tremendous impact and there is visible impact on their pockets and on their health. So as long as we are able to demonstrate that what we are giving out is adding value to the beneficiary and the beneficiary that is really at the lowest rung of the society, that's where the flavor of it comes out, and that's where governments, that's where the bodies, they also recognize that it is not something which is merely an add-on to what we are already doing. It is something which is also has been recognized by the Jal Jeevan Mission as one of the 5 innovations. So that's where the flavor of it is. And again, as you rightly said, that JanaJal Wow becomes even more powerful when it collaborates with other bodies, when it penetrates to different markets, when it partners with the government projects. So that's where I think the impact of it will multiply.
Thank you so much. Ashish, your thoughts on the same question?
So I don't think financial stability or sustainability is a question. In my field, I'm doing waste management. So waste is a resource. So I do not consider waste as a waste. I consider waste as a resource, and it brings a lot of revenue to my system. And we are able to sustain all our projects. Means even the project which I conceived in 2001, I'm still running that project without any additional support and any additional financial support from any organization. So waste is a kind of domain where you can generate a lot of revenue through right kind of approach. If you are well connected with the recyclers, if the recyclers are creating demands, then the supply chain is automatically. So there are a lot of waste community, and there are a lot of informal workers who are involved in waste management sectors. They are collecting, they are segregating, they are supplying raw material without any additional support. Even the waste worker who is coming, who is visiting your households, taking away all your garbage, is not dependent on your waste collection fee. The waste collection fee is taken away by somebody else. The waste collector is only surviving only the resources which is supplying to the recycling. So the financial stability needs right kind of approach, lot of brainstorming, networking, and all.
Thank you. Nupur, if you can bring the net zero angle in your response related to water, because you've deployed your solution in multiple industries, that will be very helpful.
So you're talking of net zero. So one thing in addition with net zero, what Ashish just said is equally important. Net zero is something which we aspire. And today again, I would say we are in a smart city expo, and when we think of a smart city, it has to be net zero in terms of energy, in terms of waste, in terms of water as well. So what we can look as is particularly with the smart city, I'll speak that net zero, when we talk, we should look at solutions which, citing an example, if we are collecting in a condo, a big phase 5 I'm talking about, or any phase in a city like Gurgaon. So we are collecting and then we are transporting our wastewater to be treated somewhere else, and then we are buying back our water for reuse. So instead of this, if we can have some decentralized treatment, micro STPs within the area where wastewater could be treated there and then, and it could be reused from there itself. So we can certainly save a lot on the resources and make it financially viable. And equally lies with the utilities. If utilities can also have such a system of decentralized treatment and providing the treated sewage to the malls, building, construction, housing sectors for any medium to high-end reuse, our utilities could be self-sustainable, and truly it will be a self-sustainable model. So it is possible, and various utilities in the country have adopted this model: Surat, Aurangabad, Prayagraj. So we have ample examples to lead.
Thank you so much.